Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Man Talk Monday and welcome to the Christmas season. Every year around this time, I always take some time to reflect back on the year that has passed or is passing and start to look forward to the year to come. And I thought today I'd share with you a very simple evaluative tool that I use that I also offer to my clients, my coaching clients, as just as a way to look back over the year to evaluate kind of how things went, where things worked and where they didn't, where I felt good about things and where I felt like I fell short of my ideals or where I wanted to go, and then to begin to think about where I want them to go in the future. I think this is really, well, it is really important for us as men to do this, just to have a sense of getting an idea of where we are on the map of our lives, as you're traveling from one year to the next and you're trying to improve and grow and continue to become the man that you're meant to be. Having some way of marking the course that you're on and keeping track of whether you are or are not advancing and how you measure that is all very important. And the tool I'm about to share with you is just another one of those ways that you can sort of look, take a step back and take a look at the through a lens at your life. So it really involves a simple graphic or a simple set of categories and three simple questions. So you might want to grab a piece of paper to write these categories down. This is something you probably have seen many times that we call the Wheel of Life. It's really just a label for about, in my case, I use a wheel that has 10 categories that basically lets you kind of look at different parts of your life in segmented ways. So I'm going to list those off for you, and then I'm going to just ask three questions that you can ask for each one of those segments as a way to evaluate what happened over the last 12 months and whether things unfolded the way that you wanted them to or not. So you'll see what I mean as we go through it. So first, here are the 10 categories that you can put at the top of the page and then just ask the questions underneath. The first one is spiritual growth, and you might think of that also as just your relationship with God, your relationship with the divine, your relationship with the Great Spirit, with however you think of God, that your relationship with that divine presence. A key element for human thriving and human fulfillment is that relationship. So that's a category. Another category is your significant other, your relationship with your life partner, with your spouse, or if you don't have that, then it's just that part of your life. Like if you're happy and content to be single, it's still a category that you can have in your life. So relationship with your significant other. Third category is relationship with your immediate family. These are obviously the people like your whoever that is for you, the people that are closest to you and that you're doing life with on the regular. Another category is friends. I generally say these are not your acquaintances. These are not people that you maybe are cordial with, but these are people that you would think or consider actually know you. And who are they and what is the quality of those relationships? Another one, this is probably the most abstract one in some ways, is your environment. And what that refers to is your home, your neighborhood, your community, your city, the part of the country you live in, the part of the world you live in, like just kind of those concentric circles of where you live and the spaces you're in. How are you thriving in those spaces? Sometimes we don't think about the fact that where we actually are, right, whether it's our house or neighborhood or whatever, might be contributing to our lack of success or lack of thriving in the world. Or it might be really helping us in those regards. Another one is personal growth. So this is distinct from spiritual growth, which is having to do with that vertical relationship. I think of personal growth having a lot to do with how are we expanding and growing ourselves emotionally, intellectually, How are we growing ourselves socially? What are you doing to develop yourself as a human being, in one way or another, right? So there's that. Another category is finances. You could also frame this as your relationship with money, or if you wanted to tweak it, you could say your relationship with wealth, which is actually not the same thing, but close enough to have the conversation. Another one is your career. This is your job. It includes both your job and your coworkers. So it's that whole realm of work and your work life. Another one is fun and recreation, play, restorative play in particular. So not like not numbing play, which some of us do to escape, but the kind of recreation that actually is restorative to our lives. That's this category. And then the final one, definitely not the least important, but the final one I have here is health and fitness. And that includes nutrition and sleep and exercise. So it's all of those. It's your whole relationship with your body and your relationship with health and fitness. So those are the 10 categories to sort of play with in this exercise. And then there's just these 3 questions. And so what you do through this evaluation is just pick a category, like say it's in the area of health and fitness. And the first question is, where in this category have I gained ground? Where have I advanced? Where have I improved? What has gotten better? And just look back over the 12 months and kind of evaluate, where have things improved? What has gone better? And then you can look a little deeper in there and say, well, what has allowed it to get better? What has been present, or what has occurred that has allowed things to get better in that part of my life? The second simple question is, where have I lost ground? Like when it comes to health and fitness, for example, where have things slacked off? Where have I sort of fallen back or not advanced in the way that I wanted to? And then the same follow-up is there, like what has been present that has caused that or contributed to me slipping back or not advancing? And then the third question is, where am I stuck, or where have I been stuck? And what that really refers to is, where do you find yourself in kind of a repeating loop? So you're just sort of trying something, failing, trying it again, failing, trying it again, failing, or you keep repeating the same narrative over and over again, and it's like watching a rerun of a sitcom, and it never changes. That's feeling stuck. Or you're in a kind of in a question you can't answer, so you just kind of keep spinning about something and never moving forward. So where in the area of health and fitness are you stuck? Might be that you're just not sleeping well and you're not doing anything about it, or you don't know what to do about it, just as an example. So the idea here is just to evaluate that and kind of get a sense of where things are at. So that's for that one. And you just repeat those same 3 questions. Where have I gained ground? Where have I lost ground? Where am I stuck? For every one of those categories, whether it's your career, it's in the area of your finances, the area of personal growth, in your friendships with your significant other, with your relationship with God or with the divine, all of those things, you just ask those 3 questions, which gives you a sense of kind of where you actually are actively in the process of growing and becoming the man that you're meant to be, and where you are losing ground, where you feel like you're just kind of holding the status quo and there's not any clear sense of advancement or lost ground. You're just sort of spinning in place. Once you have that information, then the next step really is to ask yourself, okay, well, given that this is the lay of the land for where I am, what do you want to do in the next year? What do you want to focus on? And what I would suggest is that you really only pick one area of the wheel, one category that you want to focus on and really advance in that one category. And the reason that I say don't try to make sweeping changes in lots of different categories is because it's too difficult for any man, anybody, to try to make too many sweeping changes. It's like trying to fight a war on multiple fronts. You end up diluting your impact in all of them, and you're not able to give your full self to any one of those things, and so it just ends up you become less potent in the attempts you're making. What's better is to pick one that you feel like, where would I get the most satisfaction if I were to break through? Which one of these areas, if I were to really advance, would it make the most difference to me? Choose that one and just do that one, and then think about what is the one change that, if it were to happen in the next 12 months, would make the most impact in me. It'd be the biggest win for me. And then make that your one and only goal for 2026, for the next year to come. And then start doing your work. Like focus on what would it actually take for you to succeed in that area. Another way to ask that question that might really help you is, what would make it really hard to fail in that quest? If you rather than you set yourself up in such a way that it would be hard for you to actually not succeed, then that might help you come up with some better ideas for the way to structure it to move forward. So there's my thought for you today, just a way to evaluate your year, the year that's now ending, and begin to think about where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, what you want to see happen in the year to come. So happy holidays to all you guys. Hope you're having a wonderful December. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this video. Comment below with your own thoughts about the best kinds of practices you have for evaluating the end of the year. Share this video with a brother, pay it forward, help someone else find their way to a better life in 2026. And we'll see you in the next video.